as long as he continued to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
And then by the end of the fight, it was clear this was a 58-year-old man, and he looked like a 58-year-old man. And I have a lot of issues with this. I don't think this fight should have ever happened. I think it says a lot of bad things about the combat sports world and sets a really dangerous precedent going forward. We're gonna talk about the whole fight clearance approval process and then just physiologically why he looked the way he did. There's a lot of just true anatomy and physiology changes that explain why Tyson looked so bad and play a role in why this type of thing should not happen. So how did this fight even happen or get approved?
Or how do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
I mean, what he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him, more power to him.
Champ, we appreciate your time. Yeah. No, we got to give, Nick, put the camera on PT. Yo, PT, man, we appreciate you. Thanks, P, for making this happen. P and Rilla, we appreciate the money team all the time, man.
After Jake Paul's fight with Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather called him out, criticizing Paul for outpacing the 58-year-old Tyson, whose age affected his performance. Mayweather accused Paul of stealing money by facing older or less competitive opponents.
So, I'm proud of him. I'm not really upset. Even like, it was so crazy. I remember just a while back, his brother was like, "Oh, I didn't get paid. It was just like I said before. He just want to keep his name out there. You know, as long as he attached his name to mine, he gonna keep my name out there. Remember what he said? He said, "Oh, Mayweather ain't gonna. He didn't pay me. He didn't pay me. Where's the lawsuit? If you didn't get paid, where's the lawsuit?" So it's a bunch of bullshit. But like I said before, they know what they're doing. Both brothers.
Jake Paul dominated his bout with Mike Tyson, earning a unanimous decision, though many fans and analysts found the spectacle underwhelming. On Twitter, a user named E criticized the fight, calling it one of the more depressing fights they'd seen and stating, "I expected nothing much, and it delivered less." Despite his victory, Jake failed to impress, especially considering Tyson's age and physical condition. Some questioned the integrity of such matchups, given Tyson's visible disadvantages. Reflecting on the fight, Jake downplayed the challenge, claiming he wasn't hurt or punched much. Known for his promotional flair, he called the event the biggest fight out of Las Vegas, boasting about its Netflix streaming and the $1.8 million it earned, which he labeled the biggest historical fight.
Is the what?
Why was Mike wearing assless chaps though? Did
that moment go viral with his cheeks out?
I don't know. It made my stomach hurt. Though.
I was seeing it
Why didn't he
while
have
I was
underwear
ringside. He had a G-string on, is what he had.
Almost.
I thought he was completely butt naked.
Nah, he looked like a stripper.
But yeah, biggest live gate, 18.1 millions in U.S. boxing history outside of Las Vegas. A phenomenal night. I'm sorry I didn't knock him out, though, guys.
Shut the fuck up. It was
really
crazy
sorry.
when we talked about this. I told him you were going to say some dumb shit. You did the right thing at the end. You bowed. You kept it classy. You was wobbled. You did your thing. You didn't get greedy.
Jake Paul's declaration, highlighting his marketing success, sparked criticism. Many saw his remarks as prioritizing financial gain over genuine athletic competition. His emphasis on revenue and platform visibility overshadowed the concerns of boxing purists who value the sport's integrity.
Yeah, after I seen him a little bit tired, I didn't want to put too much hurt on him, but I wanted the fans to get a good experience. But there was a point where all of my aggression and like super violence and like I'm gonna knock this guy out and show him, it went away when I wasn't getting hit much at all. And I don't know. I just
punches wasn't doing it.
I love Mike.
Walk us through the whole thing from the walkout to the fight to the post interview. Walk us through the whole fight from your point of view.
Yeah, this fight was just different. I feel like mentally locked in, like a lot less nerves than normal. I'm just getting so used to these moments. And honestly, fighting in a stadium, there was less nerve. It's less personal.
Yes.
And it's less loud.
Journalist Ariel Helwani criticized the fight's outcome, capturing fans' disappointment. He stated that the only result people wanted was Mike Tyson beating Jake Paul. Helwani's comments highlighted the belief that Jake's win over a 58-year-old opponent lacked merit, symbolizing frustration with his curated matchups. Critics argue Jake carefully selects opponents to maintain his undefeated record.
Oh, he sucks, or oh, he carried him, and more on that in a moment. The only result that I think people truly would have been happy with is a Mike Tyson knockout of Jake Paul. I think that's the only one that would have sufficed, and that wasn't happening. There was never really any doubt. He landed a couple punches early on, but there was never really a question as to whether or not that would happen. I think Jake carried him. I think Jake didn't want to knock him out. I'm not sure if he could have, but he definitely took his foot off the gas last couple rounds for sure. And ultimately, I'm okay with that. I predicted a Jake Paul decision. I thought it would be a little bit more competitive to get to the decision.
KSI, a longtime rival of Jake Paul, added fuel to the controversy by sharing a viral screenshot expressing his disdain after Jake's win over 58-year-old Mike Tyson. KSI's criticism reflected broader dissatisfaction with Jake's choice of opponent and the perceived lack of authenticity in the fight. His reaction also intensified the ongoing rivalry between the two, with fans debating whether KSI's comments were justified or simply part of their feud. Boxing icon Oscar De La Hoya offered a different perspective, calling Tyson a dangerous live dog in the fight, emphasizing Tyson's unpredictability despite his age. De La Hoya's remarks highlighted Tyson's enduring legacy and respect within the boxing community, contrasting with those who dismiss the fight as one-sided.
Everything turns out great when he fights Tyson. Who knows what happens there, because Tyson is a very, very dangerous live dog in this fight. But if Usyk decides and wins and decides to come back down to cruiserweight, then the suit of the fight is right there for him.
Kevin Farmer's team believe that they won a very close fight. How did you score that, Oscar?
I had it 1 point up for William. He had the relentless style. He kept throwing punches.
The media's reaction to Jake Paul's win over Mike Tyson reflected widespread disappointment. One outlet posted a photo of Jake with his hand raised, captioning it, "Jake Paul beats 58-year-old Mike Tyson by unanimous decision, 79-73, 80-72, 79-73 after 8 rounds. Honestly speaking, sad to watch. Let's all just move on and forget this ever happened." The fight was widely seen as more spectacle than sport. Bernard Hopkins, asked for his thoughts, chose not to engage, saying, "I don't prefer to talk on that. Mike is a good Muslim friend of mine." His reluctance highlighted the sensitivity surrounding Tyson's legacy and the fight's controversial nature.
I'm glad nobody got hurt, and I'm always glad in any fight when nobody gets hurt, but especially Mike. Mike's my, we've known each other for 40 years, and, I love the guy, so I just hope it didn't take away from the sport of boxing and the type of show we had here tonight with like 4 great fights out of the whole card, and we want fight fans to enjoy the fights, not just exhibitions.
Jake Paul's post-fight remarks and behavior became the subject of widespread mockery. Critics argued that his confidence in the victory was misplaced, pointing out the lack of competitiveness in the fight. Many questioned why such a matchup even took place. A humorous tweet from Evan Greenfield shared a photo of someone holding a trophy, captioned, "Jake Paul after beating 58-year-old Mike Tyson, who had an ulcer flare-up on a plane 2 months ago by decision." This pointed to the absurdity of celebrating a win over an older, physically disadvantaged opponent. Medical professional Dr. Bryan criticized the fight, stating it should never have been sanctioned. He expressed concern about Tyson's physical condition, highlighting the risks for older athletes. His critique added ethical concerns about the health and safety of fighters in such mismatches.
So how did this fight even happen or get approved? Each state has an athletic commission that governs licenses for combat sports. It's not a national standard. It's state by state, and there's a wide variety of medical clearance processes and rules in place from one state to another. That probably played some role in where this fight happened, because Texas has some of the more lenient medical clearance processes. So here you can see if you're going to apply to get a license, you basically have to have a medical exam, you have to have some negative blood work, which is pretty self-explanatory. You have to have passed an eye exam within the previous 6 months, and if you are over the age of 36, you are considered a older competitor, and you have to have more favorable physical testing, limited, including EEG